The Champions League final is just a few hours away now, and it genuinely has the potential to be one of the best finals we have ever seen. But before I tell you guys exactly who I think is going to win, first hit the like button, subscribe, and now let's take a look at the two teams. Having won the Champions League just once in 1997, Dortmund have reached the final for their first time since 2013, where they lost to Bayern Munich at Wembley, where this year's final is also going to be played. For Dortmund, this is a massive part of their history, not just because it's another final, but because it's the final game for their captain, leader, legend, Marco Reus. After announcing that he won't be renewing his contract at the end of the season, his last game is going to be the Champions League final. And you know, it might just be the most important and the hardest game he's ever played. Marco Reus played over 420 times for Dortmund over a 12-year period, and he even stayed loyal when other star players like Götze or Lewandowski went to Bayern Munich, but no, Reus stayed. I genuinely don't think there's anyone on this planet that hates Reus. Like, how can you? He's like one of the most likeable footballers ever. And I genuinely don't think anyone's going to be complaining if he does end his career with a Champions League medal. Unless you're a Real Madrid or a Bayern Munich fan, of course. However, Dortmund probably couldn't have asked for a harder team to face in the final. Real Madrid have won the Champions League 14 times, so they're no strangers to success, and this season they're definitely not short of experience or talent. Talking about talent, there's one player that's been absolutely ripping up the world this season, the player on the back of my shirt, Jude Bellingham. Having watched Bellingham from the start as a small skinny 16-year-old at Birmingham, I always knew he was incredible, and people used to tell me I was biased and stuff just because I was a Blues fan, but you know what? Who's laughing now? Honestly, from the very start, this kid was unbelievable, and every week he was just embarrassing 30-year-old grown men. Flash forward a few years, and he's up there with probably being the best midfielder in the world at the moment, and he's only 20 years old. With 35 goal contributions so far this season, and being Madrid's top goal scorer, I'd say he's settled in pretty nicely. He's also scored some very big goals this season, including last-minute winners in the Champions League and against Barcelona, so he's definitely not shy of stepping up when it matters. However, back to Dortmund, they have been really impressive this season, finishing top of the group of death, and honestly I expected them to finish bottom, but yeah, man, they did great. Moving on to the round of 16, they beat PSV pretty comfortably, which meant a quarter-finals against Atletico Madrid, who aren't a bad team, and many people predicted them to actually win the Champions League this season as well. But after two incredible matches, they proved me wrong, and they moved forward again to the semi-finals against PSG. Now again, I had Dortmund to go out here. I thought, you know what, Mbappe's last season at PSG, could this be the year PSG finally win it? But you know what, Dortmund were absolutely incredible and somehow pulled through, and they got themselves to the first final in 11 years. Moving on to Real Madrid, they won every single group stage game and then beat RB Leipzig in the round of 16 pretty comfortably. Next up for Madrid in the quarterfinals was Manchester City, and honestly the first leg of this game was probably the best game of football I've ever watched in my life. There was so much talent. A 3-3 draw was absolutely incredible to watch. But in the second leg at Manchester, they couldn't be separated, so it went all the way down to a penalty shootout, and Madrid came through. Now in the semi-final, Madrid actually struggled quite a bit with Bayern Munich, but after going 1-0 down in the second leg, Joselu, yes, the ex-Stoke City striker, scored two very, very late goals, and Madrid somehow came in clutch again and got themselves to another final. Now, who do I think is going to win the Champions League? That's a very, very tough question. Dortmund have really proven me wrong this season multiple times, and with the whole Marco Reus storyline, I really, really would love for them to go and win it. However, I just can't see it happening. You know, Real Madrid are experts in these type of games, and they've got too much quality on the pitch, I think, over Dortmund's. And, you know, with Toni Kroos it being his last game as well, I don't know, I think that Madrid has got too much for Dortmund. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 win, and I know that scoreline sounds like kind of easy, but I don't think it's going to be that easy for Real Madrid actually. But with Real Madrid winning the Champions League, I also think that's going to solidify Jude Bellingham as the Ballon d'Or winner. So that's what my prediction is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And guys, I've actually got some really, really exciting content coming out soon, especially with the Euros as being 2 weeks away now. So guys, you definitely won't want to miss that, so make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I promise you won't regret it.